Check engine lights on, but I think that's because I was doing the dry firing. Oil pressure looks good. Coolant temperature, we're getting up to temp. Oh, what a relief. So it's been running about 10 minutes now. No leaks that I can see yet. It's up to temperature and it's holding steady where it should. Oil's flowing to the top end. I pulled the oil filler cap off and I can see oil flowing onto the rocker arms. So next I'm going to put it in gear. I'm not going to really move it, but I want to see if I put that clutch in right, because if I didn't, something's coming back out again. I'll take that as a win. And after all of that, I did find something that was leaking. Master cylinder dumping brake fluid. It's a no-win situation. Fast forward again, here we are 2 days later. I had to switch out a brake line. That fluid that was leaking was not the master cylinder, it was a brake line that was shooting up and hitting the master cylinder. So I thought it was leaking down from, but anyways, got the brake line changed. Had to fight with some bleeder screws, but got all those busted loose, so we're good on the brakes. Just checked all the fluids again. Oil looks great, no coolant leaking in, proper level. The coolant was fine, had to put in just a tad in the overflow tank, but it looks like that system got all the air out just fine. So I'm going to throw the air box back on now, and then I think it's time to take it out for a drive. Remember so long ago when we started this thing? Holy smoke, that was forever ago. This was the first thing I took off. This is the last thing going on. Well, that, as they say, is that. She's buttoned up. I'm going to clean up a little bit, and let's take this thing for a ride. First things first, we're going to see if it starts up again. Like butter. Oh, I'll tell you what, it's a completely different feeling. Taking her out on the road. It has been clutch feels different. It has been what? It's been about 4 weeks because I can only do this. The only day I have off is Sundays, and that's what I've been working on and on. Today's Sunday. Family wants to go do stuff. It is so smooth, holy smokes. The check engine light isn't going off, so I'm going to grab the scanner when we get back. If we get back. I just double checked that. I'm pretty sure it's because I was, doing the dry fire and stuff without any spark or fuel going to the cylinders. No spark plugs in, just to get the oil pressure up. Oil pressure looks great. It is a smooth running engine. And I looked at the bill of lading, or the delivery bill or whatever, when I was going to send my core back, and it says fulfillment or something like that by ATK. So it is an ATK engine, 100% now. I was pretty sure to begin with, but now I know. it is much smoother than and quieter, probably because I had that exhaust leak up at the manifold, and that exhaust leak was, I think it was hiding that piston slap for the longest time until the piston slap started getting a lot worse. But now that I got her all buttoned up, nice and solid, it's nice and quiet, nice and smooth. And I'm doing 50 and a 25, better slow down. Popo around here, they don't like you speeding. First they'd probably look at the Jeep and go, what? Speeding in a Jeep? No, come on. So, it's up to temp now. Got a brand new 190-degree thermostat in it. I think that was the factory one in there. It had the little Chrysler symbol on it, so I think that was the original one, and it ran right at 210. This one's running just under. Oil pressure's just under 60, probably about 58 psi. You know, how accurate are those gauges? Who the heck knows? But I just like seeing solid oil pressure, so that's good. And it is so weird driving it without hearing a click, 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 click. Michigan, everybody. Cute little town. So still using that little scanner I bought, little Bluetooth thing. Works good. I mean, it gives me the codes. It'll give me some live data. It's not amazing, but it does what I ask it to do. P0204, that's a fuel injector issue. Again, I was turning it over when the fuel injectors weren't hooked up. That could easily have thrown that code. It's definitely running on all 4 cylinders, so that's what I think it is. Cleared the codes. We'll see if it comes back. So how about a wrap up for putting the engine in? It was a lot of work. Was it worth it to save the Jeep? Absolutely. I still owe way too much money on this thing to just let it sit and rot away, not driving it. So, ATK engine, a solo pull out and install with cheap Harbor Freight tools. Most of them are cheap Harbor Freight tools. I spent a little money on some things, but most of my tools are right from Harbor Freight. The engine hoist, the engine stand, all from Harbor Freight. Now that engine hoist could have been longer, that boom, if it had been longer, would have made life a lot easier. And if I had one of those little cranky things that would balance the engine better, that would have made life a lot easier putting it in. Other than that, the Harbor Freight tools did just fine. Pivoting ratchet, something with an adjustable head so you can reach into those tight spots, amazing. The ratcheting wrenches, those came in more handy on this project than anything else I've ever done on any Jeep. I knew they'd pay off someday. They aren't that expensive at Harbor Freight, but those came in real handy. This little thing, if you can pick yourself up one of these, they come in so handy. I mean, they didn't have to drive down to the auto parts store to see what the code was and to clear it. And if I really wanted live data, I could have gone and probably seen that the number 4 injector was firing, but I can tell you it is because it's running on all 4 cylinders. So there we go. It took me, there was one weekend where I went away to see my daughter rather than working on it. So it took me a month to do this, but really it took me 3 weeks. And that was only having Sundays off and then a couple hours every morning to work on it. Otherwise, total hours I didn't keep track. It's a lot. If you decide to do this, you're going to be jumping in with both feet, and it's going to take everything you've got to do it. And unless you're a seasoned pro, in which case you're not watching this video anyways. This is for hacks like me that have never done this solo, never done it period. It definitely helps to have a little mechanical knowledge, but pulling it out, following that instruction manual or the factory service manual, that was a real help. That kept it from getting overwhelming. One of the comments in one of these videos said, how do you eat an elephant one bite at a time? And that's what following those instructions to pull it out did. It made it, you know, okay, don't worry about how you're going to get the engine out. Worry about how you're going to get the alternator off. Don't worry about how you're going to get the engine out. Worry about how you're going to get that fan shroud off. And it just, step by step, just made it a lot easier to digest than if I had jumped in without that. Now putting it back in, I went completely off script because the installation instructions just assumed that your engine was all together rather than like I have it added, you know, with parts off. So, oh, Chilton's Haynes, they might help you out better. Haynes manual, everybody talks about them. I've never been a big fan, but might help you out. What else can I tell you? Make sure you have your fluids. Anticipate the parts you're going to replace and have them ready to go. That was a huge, I had almost everything here that I knew I was going to throw on before the engine went in. The water pump was here. Before that, the coil was here. The motor mounts, you know, everything that I knew I was replacing, I had here before the engine arrived in my driveway. So that was a good thing. Anticipate some broken bolts, but don't panic because you're putting a new engine on. So if a bolt breaks off on the exhaust, you don't have to worry about getting it out. You're sending that core back, don't worry about getting it out. Here we go, how about that? The engine itself from Rock Auto, $1,300 and some for this 04 banger. Like I say, it's an ATK. Go and look up ATK 4-cylinder engines anywhere else, and they're going to be at least $1,500. So it was a couple $100 cheaper to begin with. And I've been trying to get the shipping set up for the core return. That hasn't been going as easy as I was hoping it would, but I'm not worried about it because I've got a year to bug them until they come and get this thing. I'd like my money, but what are you going to do? I think that's about it. I think that is all the wise, sage advice I have for swapping an engine. 6-cylinder is going to be harder because it's a bigger engine, it's heavier, but it's pretty much the same thing. I don't know. I guess that's it, guys. I am going to go spend the rest of this Sunday with my family. It's only like 11 o'clock. We can go off and have a little adventure. Maybe we'll take the Jeep. Who knows? Follow the braking procedures, too. Don't screw that up, because that'll totally mess you up. So, change the engine oil when you're supposed to, and drive it like you're supposed to drive it. A lot of highway driving at one constant speed is not good for engine break-in. You want to vary it. You want to try and stay off the highway as much as you can, and just on the normal road, so you're increasing RPMs and lowering RPMs, and it's going all over the place. And that'll help with the break-ins. All right, I'm gonna go. I've been yakking long enough. Thank you so much for watching this video series. I hope it helped you out. Please click like, and subscribe, and there will be more Jeep videos coming up. There's still lots to do on this puppy. I've got to replace the rear pinion seal. We'll service the axles. Might get into some of the wiring because the turn signals are still acting a little janky at times, so we might get into that. But there we go. Have a great day. I will catch you on the next one.